Yula's mother asked if she was now unrestrained. She angrily asked Junwoo what he wanted by getting Ellie into the company. She even felt that Ellie had divorced her husband in order to be with him. Junwoo said that Ellie had divorced because her husband had cheated on her. The stepmother was shocked that he even knew about this. She said that she had just met with Ellie. This was just heard by Guda. He is always afraid that his past will be discovered. He quickly makes an appointment with Ellie and asks her what she really wants to see Yula's mother. But Ellie says there is no need to tell him. An excited Guda insists that Ellie come clean. Ellie despises his face at this time. Seeing that Ellie doesn't want to say more to him, Guda quickly changes his tone. He hopes that Ellie will stop, but Ellie says that she is no longer the coward she used to be. I put up with it when you sent my sister to prison and had my child aborted, but you seriously injured my mother. You have completely crossed the line. Guda just laughed when he heard this. You're not even worthy of fighting with me. Ellie said that even if it cost her life, she would make you pay. Yula's father asked Guda to find out if Junwoo was really seeing a divorcee. He would never allow his son to bring shame on the family. If that was the case, he would have to leave the company. Yula's mother was very happy to hear this. She thought that if she could just get Ellie and Junwoo together, she could get Junwoo out of the company. She asked Ellie out again and told her to date Junwoo properly. She would definitely support them. Yula angrily asked Ellie what she was doing here. Ellie said she wanted to start over with Junwoo. This shocked the people around her. Yula accused her of being a married woman who dared to seduce my brother. Ellie says she is now single. Her husband pretended to be single and married another woman, completely betraying himself. Yula thinks she is talking nonsense. What kind of woman would be so stupid to be cheated on? Ellie says her husband deliberately did not register the marriage with her. Guda is so shocked that he can't even hold his glass steady when he hears this. He excuses himself and runs to the bathroom to call Ellie, asking Ellie to come out and talk to him immediately. Guda really can't accept this complicated relationship. He asks Ellie if she is serious. Guda, who heard Ellie's affirmative answer, couldn't calm down. Ellie said it was all thanks to you that she had the courage to start over. Guda asked her if she was crazy and told her not to dream about it. Just as the two were arguing heatedly, Junwoo, who had been unable to see Ellie for a long time, came out looking for her. Seeing that the two seemed to know each other, he just watched. Junwoo, who heard the conversation, couldn't believe it. Guda told her to go ahead and say it if she was capable. Hurry up and let me live in constant fear. Ellie said, I won't let you enjoy yourself like this. I'll slowly repay you for everything you've put me through. Guda told Ellie, if Junwoo finds out, not only will I be shunned. Ellie said, I was going to tell Junwoo anyway. Guda felt smug, thinking that he was already married to her sister. Ellie bluntly said, precisely because of this, she will never let go of me. Guda felt that Junwoo would never accept a divorced you. Ellie told him not to worry. Junwoo had already said that he wanted to start over with me. She said she would not let go of her ex-husband who had made me like this. Hearing this, Junwoo could hardly believe that the woman he loved most was his sister's ex-husband. He stumbled away. He called Ellie and said he had an emergency and had to leave. Depressed, Junwoo went out for a drink to relieve his sorrows. He thought about what Ellie's brother had said about his sister's difficult life. Her brother-in-law had married another woman behind her back. Ellie had even been pushed over by that playboy and had a miscarriage. Junwoo really had no way to forgive that bastard. He stumbled back home and went straight to Guda's room and grabbed him without saying a word. He punched the bastard in the face for bullying the woman he loved most and now cheating on his only sister. He punched him and left, leaving everyone in shock. Yula said that her brother had completely lost his mind because of that woman. At the company, she met Ellie and said sarcastically, you divorced woman, you're really something, you've got my brother wrapped around your finger. Ellie said that she was divorced. Yes, but I didn't fool around and I didn't steal someone else's husband. Yula told her not to be complacent and that she would definitely find a way to get you out of the company. But Ellie is no longer the lamb who was at the mercy of others. Ellie decided to confess her past to Junwoo. She said the man who abandoned her was your sister's current husband. Although Junwoo already knew, he still couldn't accept it when it came from Ellie's mouth. He was worried about how his sister would accept herself when she found out, and how she would face such a complicated relationship in the future. Junwoo said he would not let that man go. Ellie strongly advised him to calm down. Helpless, Junwoo could only walk aimlessly. He wished so much that none of this was true. Everyone at the company was looking for Junwoo. There was an important contract that needed his confirmation at a meeting, but he wasn't answering any calls. His old father was almost driven to his grave by his anger. He had messed up such an important contract. Guda took the opportunity to say that Junwoo might be with a woman, the woman who prevented you from breaking up 5 years ago, and said that he was formally introduced to Yula yesterday. The old chairman was almost killed by anger after hearing this. The stepmother who saw this secretly smiled. This is the effect they want. Guda hurriedly told his wife the good news. Yula felt that this time they were definitely finished. The design department happily got the sample, but they were almost scared to death. The color of the shoes was completely wrong. Lucy said that the final link was handled by Ellie and said that she had emphasized the need to change the color. Ellie was questioned directly when she returned, but she said she did exactly what Lucy told her to do. How could Lucy admit that at this point? she quickly called Eula to report the good news, saying that she had successfully framed Ellie. Eula felt confident that she had won this time. This scheming couple was waiting to see what would happen after causing such a big mess. How could Ellie still stay in her job? Stupid Ellie went to Eula and said that Lucy had never told her about this. But Eula didn't want to hear her explanation and told Ellie to leave the company immediately. Ellie said she could never make such a stupid mistake. Eula bluntly told her that she was just a salesperson in the store and she didn't think she was very smart. Ellie went to Lucy and said she would definitely clarify the truth. But Lucy didn't care to hear any of it. When she got home, she proudly told her mother that Ellie was finished this time. She deliberately didn't tell her that she wanted to change the color. When her uncle heard this, he told Lucy to tell the truth. The mother and daughter asked their uncle in unison if he was crazy. Ellie went to the factory and begged the factory manager to save her. She happened to be seen by Junu, who had come to the factory. Junu looked at the suffering Ellie and asked her why she didn't tell him earlier about her ex-husband. Ellie said, "It's all because Eula is your sister. I don't want you and your sister to be hurt like that." Junu felt that Ellie was really stupid. At this time, Ellie could only cry helplessly. Since she was young, she had no father and had always helped her younger brother and sister clean up the mess. After marriage, she was always treated like a servant in her in-laws' house. In the end, she was even abandoned. Junu felt very sad when he heard this. Ellie said that she would repay Guda for all this with interest. I don't know that Guda's past Eula thought she had found a rich husband, and her mother-in-law also thought her daughter had married a good man. Every day, they schemed about how to take over the company. Guda also thought that Junu didn't know his past, and advised him to stay away from such low-class women. But Junu didn't care to listen to him. Eula and Lucy set a trap to force Ellie to leave the company, but Ellie said she would not resign, and must find out who framed her. Eula, who couldn't listen anymore, wanted to get up and fight but was stopped by Ellie. Ellie asked her why she was so agitated and whether she wanted to make her take responsibility. Eula said like a mad person that she would not let Ellie off the hook. Uncle Guda learned from Ellie's sister-in-law that Ellie had caused trouble as soon as she joined the company. He quickly called Lucy and asked her to tell him what she had done to frame Ellie. The clever sister-in-law secretly recorded the conversation with a recorder. Her uncle told her that she could not frame someone like this, or else he would go to your company himself and say that you and Eula had conspired to frame Ellie. The sister-in-law was overjoyed to have the recording. Guda told Eula that he wanted to maximize the losses this time, so that you can completely bring your brother down. Eula also thinks it makes sense. This will not only get your brother fired, but also get the annoying Ellie out of the company. Ellie and Junu are also discussing a remedial plan. Make the best of a bad situation. Let the new product enter the market in limited quantities. Use free trials as a way of marketing and advertising. Guda's mother ran to Eula's mother and said that her son was rumored to be with a divorced woman. Eula's mother told her to mind her own business. In fact, Guda's mother just wanted to test whether she knew about Ellie's relationship with her son. Junu said that he would not forgive Guda, and would keep their relationship a secret for now. He would tell Eula about it later, but it wasn't the right time yet. Ellie didn't understand what he meant. Junu asked her to trust him. There was no need to rush. Guda's mother took her daughter to Ellie's house. When they heard Ellie come home, they hid. Sure enough, they saw Junu and Ellie being intimate. The guilty Lucy was afraid that her frame-up would be discovered. Her sister-in-law happily took out the recorder and played the truth that her brother-in-law had said. The family members who heard this were shocked. It turned out that they really framed Ellie. Now Ellie had evidence. She played the recording for Junu to hear. Ellie said that she would solve the rest herself. The arrogant Lucy told Ellie to get away from Junu, or else she would not be polite. Ellie said, "You're going to be finished yourself, so why are you meddling in my personal affairs?" But Lucy's arrogance remained unchanged. Ellie had no choice but to take out the recorder and play it. Hearing what her uncle had said on the recording almost scared Lucy to death. She immediately reached for the recorder. The skinny Ellie was no match for Lucy. Lucy directly stepped on the recorder. Junu took Ellie back to the house, but it seemed that the family did not welcome her. Ellie couldn't care less. She took out the recorder directly, and it turned out that she had already made a backup. After hearing the recording, she knew that it was Lucy's frame-up. Guda ran in and turned off the recorder directly. He even said that his sister did all this, and that he instructed his sister to do it. Ellie asked him why he had to frame her like this. Guda shamelessly said that his mother-in-law was very worried about her son. She didn't want her son's future to be ruined by this woman. The old man was furious. "You can't joke with the company's interests." Eula's mother said that compared to her son, this loss is nothing. Junu couldn't hold back anymore when he heard this. How dare he say that he did it for me at this time? Believe it or not, I can make you fall into hell with just one word. His father stopped him in time. Ellie said that she could make up for Lucy's mistake this time. However, She hoped to be able to stay in the company, and she wanted to punish Lucy and Eula for this false accusation. The couple was so angry that they gnashed their teeth. The three of them quickly conspired again about what to do next. They all agreed that Ellie was unlikely to turn things around, so they would let her mess around and then kick her out of the company. Junwoo tried to ask Gouda why he was against himself and Ellie. Gouda said without blinking that a divorced woman is not worthy of you. Junwoo did not understand why he wanted to do whatever it took to get Ellie out of the company. Eula said that this was her own decision.